Hello, it's me. Something different today. Yeah, something a little bit different. Well, as you know, if you're watching, you're part of the reselling community. I'm a reseller. I buy things for cheap and I sell it for a bit more on platforms, and I take the profit off and make money that way, pay my bills, etc., etc. And one of the main sources of stock that I go through are charity shops. Now, my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube shorts, I usually do every now and then like some charity shop news or eBay news or auction, that kind of thing. And it's just fun to break it up. However, as I was looking for inspiration for news stories, I was scrolling through, and I don't know what it is, but like this year I've just been seeing lots of news articles about thefts, break-ins, smash and grabs, and it's kind of overwhelming how much it happens. And because we're kind of tangentially kind of involved, we're kind of a part of the charity shop world, I thought I'd just do a little video on it. So I'm trying to play devil's advocate, and I'm trying to think, why would people steal from charity of all things? And the only reason I can think of is, yes, there's a cost of living crisis. There's been a cost of living crisis technically for over 10 years, but it's just the majority of people are starting to feel it now. That's my worldview. We've been in tough, dire times ourselves as a family, as personally, but I've never stolen. It's never been that bad. And I get it. Sometimes it is really that bad that you have to go out on the rob, and it's not right. And it shouldn't have to. And thankfully, there shouldn't be this many food banks. There shouldn't be more food banks than there is Tesco's. And there's clothing banks and everything. So technically, you don't need to steal. Just putting it out there. Personally, I wouldn't have the guts to steal, to be honest. I'm a bit of a wimp. I'd go begging. I'd rather beg. Now, I remember a story breaking. Yeah, a shopping leak, misplaced. It's a funny word of calling a shop manager's false accounting left Staffordshire Wildlife Trust with £5,500 loss. I remember this in the paper at the time. She mislaid £1,500 of its funds, then faked bank payments in book entries to cover it up. The false accounting eventually left the Wildlife Trust with a deficit of around £5,500. As a result of her crime, it lost volunteers and shoppers. She was 29 and mislaid the initial quantity of money in 2016. Instead of owning up, she went on to make accounts in order to hide her loss. I think that was the whole point. Her discrepancies were uncovered 9 months later. My God. Luckily, the shop was able to get its money back through insurers, apart from £250, which the judge ordered Bowden, the perpetrator, to pay. I think she has no previous conviction, 12-month community order, and instructed her to complete 120 hours unpaid work. Probably not a charity shop, just saying. Okay, this is an interesting one. Susan Kay, a manager of a hospital charity, has admitted to stealing thousands of pounds from her employer. She took cash totalling £8,931 from the charity shop she managed in Southport, and admitted to taking £240 from the Formby branch. The hospice receives less than 20% through NHS and is reliant on donation and fundraising. This lady was handed an 8-month sentence, suspended for 1 year, spared jail, to complete 25 rehabilitation activity programs. But get this, in 2011, she was convicted of the same thing. She has a history. Insane. Yeah. She has previous convictions of 22 offences in dishonesty. And on March in 2011, was convicted after she was misappropriated charity funds, totaling £1,648. She nicked it. Okay, this is Donna Louise Richardson, and she ended up stealing £26,000. She was jailed for 2 years after stealing £26,000 in takings to help pay her bills at home. Mother of two, Donna Richardson had bailiffs knocking on her door, and I was at the end of her tether when she decided to steal cash from cheques from the Dogs Trust. But the police found handbags stuffed full of at least £1,000 in loose change and thousands of pounds of uncashed cheques when they searched her home. Her Dogs Trust charity shop was unable to show any profit for at least 2 years. Almost 20,000 remained missing. In defence, she was on the edge financially. She started as a volunteer in the charity shop and then was propelled into a position with managerial responsibilities and was paid the minimum wage for that. She was in a dire financial situation. Obviously not after. She was not living extravagantly, but what she was earning could not cover the cost of day-to-day living. Bailiffs were knocking on her door at all times of night and day, seeking to recover funds and evidence she was at the end of her tether. Just in November gone, Claire Starkey of Merseyside stole just under 4,000 from one of Wirral hospitals in St John's charity shops between January and March. Liverpool Crown Court heard Starkey, who had been working for the charity for more than a decade, was struggling to pay her bills after sending sums of money to a man she has started an online relationship. Now, I kind of feel sorry for this lady. She's been duped. Absolutely. She admitted to theft by an employer and was handed a sentence of 6 months imprisonment, suspended for 18 months. She was ordered to serve a 2-month electronically monitored curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and a rehabilitation activity required 25 days. God. She's paying the money back at $150 a month. It's sad that's quite sad. God, there's loads of these stories. Oh my God, I've just noticed like the majority of these are women who used to work for the charities. It's just so heartbreaking because they've not just ruined the reputation of the trust, but also they've ruined their own lives. Paula Tribeck, who worked for Wessex Cancer Trust for 27 years. She worked for the trust for 27 years, told a court she was addicted to stealing and stole £94,000. Oh my God. She's been jailed for 2 years. Between 2013 and 2019, she stole an estimated £93,813 by making multiple transactions from these accounts to her own, using names of suppliers the charity paid to cover her tracks. I feel sorry for the charity, obviously, but I feel sorry for the people that are in such financial straits. But then I've never had to steal, and I've been incredible. As a family, we have been on the edge of not homelessness, but losing our home earlier on in my life, and I saw that happen. But my mum and dad never stole. They never went out on the rob. They never had to, thank God. That is shocking. 94,000. God, if I had 94 grand. Fake Macmillan fundraiser stole 5,000 of public donations. And now we'll get another woman. She had previously admitted 2 counts of fraud by false representation at a hearing. Oh my God. Well, the majority of women so far. I'm trying to find. It sounds horrible. I'm trying to find like men who've committed these crimes. So they're all like financial fraud fests by employees and managers of charity shops, and there's a lot more. And I'm sure that there's some men in there as well, but for some reason I just can't find them. However, you've got smash and grabbers. You've got people who will break in and nick whatever they can. St Richards Hospice near Droitwich, they steal £90 of boots. Described it heartbreaking. Happened about they took a pair of brand new hotter boots. I mean, we priced them at 40, but they're worth 90. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny, but it's like, I don't know which one's the bigger crime. No, I mean, I'm so mean. No, it's not right. I didn't see it happen, but I noticed the box with no boots and then checked the CCTV. I felt good when it happened. Oh. It cost 9.72 million to run last year. Bloody hell. We're sorry to say that a pair of boots was on sale just so it was stolen on Wednesday afternoon. The boots were runs for free care for patients and their loved ones across Worcestershire. Why did they steal hotter boots when you know that they've probably got Timberlands? I'm sorry, it's not funny, but mentally programmed to try and make a joke out of things. Thief who stole TV from Bernardo's given last chance. Oh, this is an interesting one. Let's have a look. A man who walked into a charity shop as bold as brass in Burnley left with the television set, knowing the staff were watching him. Told the staff he would fight him for the set. Christopher Chapman of Burnley pleaded guilty. See, it's a bloke. We got one! Theft of the TV set worth £65 from Bernardo's. So, and theft worth £330 from Sainsbury's. Oh, that don't matter. He was made subject to a community order for 18 months with a 6-month drug review. Oh, I wonder if he was off his face. Stealing from charity with the lowest of the low, you see. I'm going to give you another chance to engage with the probation service, but this is very likely to be your very last chance. How come he... Oh, but then again, I suppose it was drug-related, but then... Drug-related addiction and, you know, financial difficulties. It was thousands at this. I mean, you can't compare, it's apples and oranges, but nick something, it was money, that was an item. I suppose there's a lot of differences. I can't compare. Oh, his father passed away in December. He's fallen to pieces and self-destruction. Wyke charity shop, the Kirkwood, hit by early hours break-in. These broke into the Kirkwood charity shop on Towngate in Wyke in the early hours of the morning. They prized open the metal door around the back of the building in order to access the main shop, stealing a safe that contained cash from takings and donations. What I find really kind of like annoyed at, what I find really annoying is a lot of these charity shops that are getting hit are hospices. And I mean, any charity shop is bad. Like knocking over any charity shop is bad. But like, these are hospices that give sometimes palliative care that really sticks in the back of your, you know, it makes you a bit angry, doesn't it? And they obviously knew what they were doing. They went through, like, a lot of these independent hospice shops and these smaller charities, they won't have functioning CCTV. Most do now, but you know, there's a couple that I've noticed and I'm like, they've got one camera and likelihood, yeah, it's not that I'm planning to nick anything, I'm just saying it's yeah, it's interesting. Oh, I found a bloke. I know it's not like that sounded really bad, didn't it? I found a thieving bloke. Okay, so Dishonest Manager helps himself to 40 grand from charity fund. Jack Davis started stealing money from the charity soon after joining in 2017. The trusted charity manager pilfered tens of thousands of pounds from his employees with a series of frauds and thefts. Jack Davies worked for the charity which runs and restores Cardigan Historic Castle after moving back to West Wales from London. Throughout the course of 2 years, he helped himself to £40,000 from the group. Oh my God. A number of scams, including setting up an online gift shop where the takings were paid into his own bank account, and spending thousands of pounds on a charity's corporate credit card at Tesco, Next, Apple iTunes and Celtic Manor Hotel and Resort. Okay. A judge described the former civil servant and hotel boss as being a thoroughly dishonest individual. Yeah, I'd say. Please tell me he went to prison. The judge added that swearing innocence on his daughter's life had been despicable. He didn't, the bastard. The defendant required the 1/3 discount for his givers fee. The judge sentenced him to 21 months in prison, suspended for 2 years, and ordered him to complete 200 hours. But the court heard Davis has lodged $40,000 with his solicitors ready to reimburse charity or his insurers. He's got 40 grand to give back. Take it all off him. Oh, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, but that guy, he deserves to go to jail. So, Dishonest Manager, thieving manager, helps himself to 40 grand from charity funds and gets off. He's got a suspended sentence, but that woman who was in financial difficulty, who stole, 26 grand, she gets 2 years, but he only gets a suspended sentence for 21 months. What? I don't know. So yeah, I just found it quite interesting when I was like looking for, you know, news stories, and then I usually do like less than a minute kind of like clips, but this deserved like probably a full video. But yeah, I don't like negativity, but it just, when I tried to come up, when it came up with lots of news, And it was all like charity shop broken into, charity shop broken into, £200 worth of clothes stolen from charity shop. But it's just like, I'm like, oh, and we're a part of this kind of like community inadvertently, like tangentially, as resellers. I don't know. I just found it interesting, and I found it interesting that a lot of charity shop work is stole from there. But there's lots of people on the street who do smash and grabs. Hopefully they'll get stolen. Oh, and if you're donating, do not leave it outside a charity shop because it will get nicked. Lots of people nick it. There was loads of stories about donations stolen from doorways. Wait until it's open, go in, check, or go to the bins and donate in the bins. Anywho, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time with a more positive video.